now is the opening to the back of our vanity cabinet, and there is a screw board right here, and it provides some stability to the two side panels, and it allows us easy access for our supply and waste lines. Then we will screw through this, through a grout line, and hit a stud. Now, there's a stud right here in the wall. So when we put our screws through, we're going to shoot for right here and try to catch a stud. We can always use an anchoring system. Okay, so for now, we're just going to move this up against the wall. From the top side down, you can see our waistline and our two supply lines. And in order to get this centered on the wall where we want it, we're going to look up the wall, and there's our light fixture. This little light fixture peg right here that holds our light fixture on the wall is the center of where the mirror is going to go, which should be centered over the top of our sink. The stuff underneath it there doesn't matter, we won't see it. What does matter is where the center is on here. We're going to take a tape measure, and we're going to measure from the side to the side, divide it in half, and make a mark right here. Then down here, which a plumb is just a string with a little weight on it, and line that up. We can double check that by measuring from this over to the corner, and we can measure from the center here over to the corner. And keep in mind that when we do, we will add in or subtract out the distance of the tile and the mastic to the wall. The tile itself, and so we've got, it's approximately 1/4 of an inch. So when we measure from here over, when the center of this is 16, it's actually 16 1/4. First thing we need to do is 24 inches, a little less than 24 inches. It's 23 3/4. Well, half of that is 3/8 plus the other half, which make it 7/8 and 11. And we're just going to put 11 7/8. And to double check ourselves, we're going to measure 11 7/8 from the other side. And there it is. From the wall to the peg, and it's 18 3/4. So when we measure over here, 18 3/4 minus the 1/4 inch for the tile makes it 18 1/2. So we're just going to 18 1/2. I'll put that right there. I just put a little pencil mark on the back of the cabinet. A poor man's plumb. Here's a poor man's plumb. We got some string, and we're just going to go ahead and set it up as we go because we are in a bit of a hurry. Right, there's our string. It's long enough. This is not for precision work. This is for ballpark work. It'll get the job done. Gotta make a small hoop on there that'll tighten up. Okay, you fold it over. You're going to tighten it up on the head of a screw or a nail, and you're going to let gravity do the work from there. And here we go. We just want to make sure that the center is pretty close to this. I'll pull that up. And I'm going to bring you right off of here so you can see what's happening. Center mark. And there's the center mark below. And we're using the string off of this to measure down. And it's within the ballpark of it. And not terribly worried if this thing was perfectly plumb. If we had a professional bob and plumb, that would be it. We're close. We have a level, have a drill, and we have some screws. Got them right on there. Because the tile is level, this is level. And I know that there's a stud right about here. What I want to do is I want to shoot a screw through the grout line and into that stud. And I'm actually getting the screw aligned through the back board, this back plate, and make sure that my screw is going through a grout line. The way to do that is I'm going to pull my vanity out just a little bit. Okay? I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to let it grab the grout line. I can hear the difference. Now I know it's in the grout line. It is approximately a ½ inch up from the bottom of my plate. Front to back, we're level. Side to side, we're level. Super. An additional thing that I will do before setting the sink, along the back of the tile, I will run a bead of adhesive caulk between this supportive board and the tile itself, just to ensure that the weight of the sink, it's a porcelain sink, it's heavy. I don't want anybody leaning on it. For some reason, if that should ever fail, don't want it to come forward, especially when you have this pressed. When you have this pressed wood, if it gets wet, it will swell and weaken. So we want to make sure that's in there really good, and it is. Yeah, it's in there real good.